Hey everybody, Rob from Karma Comment Chameleon, today looking at a couple of malicious compliance stories. First one, we're replaceable and you're happy to help us leave? Okay. I used to work for a small fee-for-service nonprofit. The average number of clients served was and is around 250. The average caseload is 12, but can range from 10 to 20 per person, and may exceed 20 depending on circumstance. Non-management staff hover around 18 to 20 people. New staff aren't really able to effectively use client-authorized hours until several months in, so the org is reliant on senior staff to keep projected income up. This is relevant later. Keeping it as understandable as possible, one of the perks of being a senior staff member was receiving a personalized, facilitated plan for your goals. Once the plans were done individually, everyone who received one from all regions of the org came together as a group to discuss. This was meant to be an opportunity to share, support each other, and figure out next steps. Since our plans were mostly done around our goals at the company, we had an honest conversation about what we need to be successful. It wasn't inappropriate in any way, and many of the needs we brought up were already being met. It was honestly just a facilitated discussion around how to keep focused on advancing our career there. Well, one person from another region with more weight didn't like how the day went, so they complained to their manager, who is also a personal friend. That manager worked herself up about it, created a new story, and went straight to the assistant director. The assistant director is a very reactionary person and isn't very well liked. Most just avoid or placate her. Everyone in my region at the group meetings gets an email from assistant director saying we need to cancel all appointments and be in her office at a specified time the next day. Remember, we're senior staff. That means 5 of us canceled our client-based appointments to go into this mystery meeting, losing the company money. Meeting comes, we are sat down in front of all the managers in our region and the assistant director. She launches into us with the following highlights. How dare you use group time to provide feedback about the organization? She's so ashamed and doesn't trust us to represent the company. Informs us that we wasted $7,000 of the company's money and that her toddlers behave better than us. She ends this 5-minute rant by saying that every one of us is replaceable and they'd be happy if we left. We 5 sit in stunned silence before the meeting is concluded and we all walk out. Turns out, the assistant director never spoke to the facilitator, didn't consult any other attendees from other regions, in fact, didn't bother getting any additional information at all. To add insult to injury, my boss, one of the managers in the room, told me the point of that meeting was to make us feel shitty. When I asked what follow-up was needed from me, I found a job within 2 weeks and left. 2 other people in that meeting quit within a month. A 4th is halfway out the door. Others found out about the meeting and so far 4 additional staff have left. All 7 of us who quit so far had been there 3 years or more, and our departures were no more than 2 months apart. Our total caseloads numbered roughly 120 clients, meaning that almost half of the organization's clients are without staff to support them, and there are now 5 new hires without mentors. One of the new hires quit because of this, making 8 people gone in 2 months. This turnover has never happened before. I left behind 3 years of stellar client relationships and high performance and outcomes, and took with me the knowledge on everything from mandatory trainings to the billing protocol. Yep, that's right. I developed the billing protocol for the new database and no one had stepped up to learn it prior. Sucks to be you, I guess. Moral of the story, if you tell staff they are replaceable, their answer will be, so are you. One of the comments on this story sums it up very well. It says, one of the things I learned early in life was to never issue ultimatums if you're not prepared to accept and deal with the consequences. No matter how angry I am, it's just not worth it. You need little people to do the little jobs, and it's the little bits and pieces that hold the corporate machine together. Management is the bottle of grease, only a few drops are needed. On to our next story, how to discipline overeager engineer. I just found this gem on Stack Exchange and wanted to share it with you since it's the first time that I've seen the person on the receiving end of malicious compliance report it. All credit goes to the manager who asked about their maliciously compliant employee. Link down below. I have a software engineer on my staff that has been very useful. He basically trains himself on new technologies on a weekly basis and can memorize and apply the latest O'Reilly textbook over a weekend and master the content within a month. He's been on board with our company, 5,000 plus as of January, for a little over 4 years and has done well with us. Stocks and bonuses. Puts in at least 15 hours overtime per week, etc., and has received a promotion from intermediate engineer to senior engineer in his first year, mostly due to his hiring manager messing up and hiring him too low. He's had a lot of success these past 3 years and is pushing excessively for a promotion to engineering director, which is the next level up 2 levels beneath me. In his words, he's got the knowledge, drive, and mindset to make it to this level, and plans to be a director before he's 33. While I wish that for him, the company doesn't promote people unless they've worked in a role for at least 3 years and can prove they're ready for the next level. He's recently completed his annual review, and while he got a raise and encouragement that he's close to reaching the next level and promotion, he wasn't happy. He insisted on knowing every detail of how he's not yet ready for the next promotion, and insisted on having check-ins each month to know if and when he's ready so he can be promoted early rather than having to wait another year needlessly to be promoted during annual reviews. I tried to encourage him to be patient, but he's insistent that time spent in the current chair shouldn't be a factor, while management insists that it's important to de-risk a candidate. We've had a serious problem with him this month, since a formal meeting where he's noted he's not happy being magically promoted on a whim. He's made a point of cutting overtime to nothing, focusing on his personal blog and LinkedIn to show off his knowledge, focusing on generic skills and abilities at the expense of company-specific skills and technologies, and encouraging other engineers to do the same. This has caused a lot of disruptions in the company, and I'm receiving recommendations to encourage this employee to quit. How do I straighten out this formerly useful employee? He has accrued 2 years of severance in lieu of overtime due to unique circumstances, and senior management, on principle, doesn't want to pay $700,000 to fire someone. It sounds like this employee's trying to get himself fired to get access to that wonderful severance package. I don't think I've ever heard of somebody building up a $700,000 severance package in only 2 years. Crazy. I hope you get it. It's really neat to see this story come from the other side of malicious compliance, something we don't see anywhere near enough in the subreddit. On to our next story. You want me to precisely log my time more accurately? This was about 10 or so years ago. I work at a CNC machine shop, and my daily duties range pretty widely. Anything from production of parts to machine setup, program writing, and assisting other employees with their own needs during the day. At this time, we had a large number of new hires, so I spent a significant amount of my time helping other people. This is relevant to the story. Enter the bean counter Dean. Now, he didn't like how much time I spend in setup on my jobs, and he hounded me every week about keeping better track of my time. I tried explaining many times that it's silly for me to go count my parts and clock off whatever job packet I was clocked into just so I could walk a few machines over and help someone for 5 to 10 minutes, especially considering our horribly slow computers that took 1 to 2 minutes to get switched over to another job packet. He wouldn't let it go, so I decided to give it to him. I did this one day. I vowed to track my time as precisely as possible out of spite. If the guy 10 feet away from me needed me to come look at his program issue, a 30-second fix, I would walk 50 feet away to clock out of my job and into training like a good boy. The stunned look on my coworker's face was priceless. He thought it was hilarious when I explained it though. I needed to hop on the forklift next to my machine and move a pallet 10 feet, clock out of the job and into forklift, and then back into the job. The end result of this was that I probably spent 2 hours that day just clocking in and out of stuff. The next day my supervisor, not Dean, came and told me I can't do that anymore. I was wasting too much time. He knew what I was doing it for and got a kick out of it. I have never been bothered about the accuracy of my time card at work since then. Dean is long gone, and I still work there. Happy ending. What I'm really getting out of these stories is that management doesn't know how to manage people when they haven't done the jobs themselves and know what the job entails. In these cases, I can pretty much guarantee you that the managers haven't spent any time doing the jobs of the employees. For all you managers out there who were promoted into a company from the outside or skipped a position, I ask you, spend a good amount of time in the roles of the people that you're managing. Do their work and see what they go through on a regular basis, because the real question is, how can you manage something that you have never done? I want to thank all 3 OPs for posting their stories to the Malicious Compliance subreddit. You can visit them at the links in the description below. Please go there and give them an upvote. Once again, this is Rob from Karma Comment Chameleon saying thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.